Hello, my lovelies. How are you? I am Eriu and this is Eriu Tarot Readings. And you, my darling, you are very welcome here today. So guys, I'm so sorry I've been MIA for quite some time. Life's been a bit busy and I've been doing other things and applying for other things and such. So, well, you guys voted and you said to me, majority was that you guys wanted bi-weekly readings. So here I am. I know I didn't get, unfortunately, to the start of May, which I'm really sorry about, but I am on the go here and I'm ready to rock with your 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of May, your bi-weekly readings of May 2017. So my lovelies, let's rock and roll. There's no time to waste and let's do your reading. Hey Saggy, how's it going? How's things? This is your bi-weekly reading of May the 15th to May the 31st, 2017. And I say bi-weekly, but realistically we're looking at like 2.5 weeks because May is just that little bit longer. It's a little bit. How are you, Sagittarius? Do you know what? I've really missed you guys. I just was pre-shuffling and I was like, I miss Sagittarius. And I think as well it's because I haven't seen some of my Saggies in my life recently. And it's been a while and I miss them and I need to get in contact with them again. So I miss you guys. What's going on? How's life? I felt really excited to do your reading, by the way. So, remember, this is your general and love reading. So we've got 2 readings. First one's general. Second one is your love life. 6 card spread. Hey now. We'll see if he pops back in. And if it doesn't resonate, remember, just check out your moon and rising sign. Perfectly fine. And as always, I'll put the link below for you, okay? Boom, that's you, Sag. Again, apologies for being so MIA, but I'm back. And I'm going to give you your bi-weekly reading. And if I need to clarify, I will. Also, if you hear little slurpy slurps, because I have my drink here. So, need to stay hydrated. Cool, I was just thinking how much I missed her and she hasn't been around. My lord. Right, 6 of Cups is coming up for everyone. It really is. What's going on, peeps? Okay. Alright, so start of your week, midweek, and end of the week. Let's focus on the very first week. Right. Okay, let's go straight in. So, 6 of Swords, really cool. You've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy all flowing through this card. You've got Swords being communication, a really high caliber of communication though. The ability to speak in a really eloquent way, being quite diplomatic, and as always as well, the sword being like the tongue. Therefore, the word is your strongest weapon in a way. The sword is the strongest weapon and your word carries a lot of weight. Now, 6 of Swords is all about travelling. As you can see, we've got someone on the boat here and they're moving away from things. Now, you could be moving away from your past. Just to clarify, general reading could be work, study, projects you're involved with, community, committees, domestic life and friendships, okay? Anything that is non-romantic related, that's what we're going to tackle here today. So apply certain areas of your life to this reading to tell the story for you. So let's go back, 6 of Swords. So yes, as I said, all about traveling, moving away from things. Some of you might actually be moving. Some of you, can be moving and traveling overseas, can be moving house. But I feel like you're leaving a really large community. You're not walking away from it in a, I wish that wasn't happening sort of thing. It's like you've said your goodbyes, you've done your thing, but it's a community that you've been involved in within the last 7 to 11 years even, which is quite a long time. Yeah, like even a neighborhood or committee, but it feels like you've got a really strong connection here and everyone kind of knows everyone. It's that nice old school way of being, the way communities should be, you know. Everyone knows everyone, everyone's there for everyone. This could be in any capacity, as I said, could be work, could be an organisation, or could be your community itself that you lived in and you're moving away from it. It actually feels like you're moving overseas. Like, yes, this card means that, but I feel you stepping onto another element. I feel you moving from earth to water. So you could be moving overseas, or for some of you, I'm getting, which sounds really funny, you're moving across the water. Does that make sense? Or you're moving where there's a lake. where there's a lake or there's water? Or are you going to work somewhere near water or near a lake or near a river? It's just like the plunge, poof, lake, water, river. Oh, interesting. Cool though. Completely different to what you got over here, by the way. Whatever this was in the background, it felt very close knit, but it felt physically close knit. So some of you may be moving out of apartment blocks, some of you may be moving out of a really nice little neighborhood, as I said, where it's kind of small, but everyone knows everyone. It's quite tight. There's a lot of people there. It feels a little bit claustrophobic. That might also be the reason why you're moving out here. You're moving this way. Okay, really nice, isn't it? I like that as the starting card. We're all about movement. That's what we want to see. Moving into your midweek. Now, who pops up? This is big. Sorry. You really are choosing to... You really are changing. Okay, sorry. High Priestess comes into your midweek, Major Arcana here, and you've got 2 out of 6 cards, which isn't bad. Now, High Priestess, gorgeous woman. She is just beautiful. I love her. I love her to bits. I love this gal, and I love her because she's all about going into the areas of the self, of ourself, and allowing them to be a motivating factor in our lives, even though we can't show it to people, even though we can't always even explain what it is. As I say, she very much represents the moon as well. So if you imagine when we see the moon from Earth, and it's beautiful and it's lit up and it's just gorgeous, and we forget that there's a whole other side to the moon that's in darkness. She is that other side. She is our subconscious. She is the unconscious. She are the things that we can feel, we can't see, we can't touch, but we inherently know within us is there. She is a huge motivating factor in that sense. So I feel like for some of you, oh, she's also like major intuition, by the way. I forgot to put that in. She's someone that allows you to explore other areas of yourself that need exploring. And those areas are normally areas that we feel, that we know, but it's like we vibrationally know that we need to do. Okay? And if you imagine working on the subconscious or the unconscious, I mean, that's working off that without that knowledge being at the forefront for us, like the way conscious knowledge is, consciousness. When we have that knowledge, it's there, it's booms in front of us, we feel it, we know it. But this is all about the opposite of that. And it can be, initially for people, it can be really hard to work off. But I honestly believe that you guys, Saggies, have this beautiful, dynamic intuition to you. And I think you use it in a way that you're not even really aware of, but you actually use it quite a lot. So this energy comes in for you midweek, and I think a lot of you are deciding to change it up a bit, move into the next chapter of your life, and you're working off this inner knowledge that you have, but it's not something that you feel you can fully rely on. It's not solid. It's not constructive in a way. You can only feel it, and it's making the process a little bit difficult for you. But you know you gotta go with it because it's there. She's here to remind you that your unbelievably strong sense of intuition that guides you and may be guiding you away from this area into your future is there because the things that are around you aren't telling you that, or you are not or I should say actually you are picking up on it. What I'm getting here is like synchronicity. I think for a long time you ignored synchronicity. I think you ignored it because it wasn't in your face, it wasn't direct. And then you started to get synchronicity and you started to realize that things were really out of your control and that your path was being carved by something or someone else. And it was, and it kind of is. Well, you've inherently decided to trust in that subconscious knowledge, what you feel. Now, I get for some of you as well, this is actually a little bit unnerving. There's a little bit of sadness attached to her here in this particular reading, because I know you're moving away from things and change is hard, but it's something you gotta do. You just got to. You have to, Sagittarius. And I know what you will do. And it is what I see coming up here at the end of your week, which is throw yourself full force into your work. Or into getting started your new business or new venture or new project or whatever. And you're like, you know what, let's just completely throw myself in my work, because then I won't focus too much on where I feel like I need to go, and asking yourself those inner questions of who am I, where am I going, what do I want? You know, it's like there's this like hermit card-esque curve on this for me this time. And you feel better getting more directly and practically involved into things. And 10 of Rods is doing that here. Now you've jumped from a 6 to a 10. Cool. Now the only setback is with the 10 of Rods is that you're completely overworking yourself at the end of the week. You're like, okay, this is a new thing. I gotta get into it. I gotta know everything about it. I'm gonna go full force. I have so much passion. There's probably a lot of responsibility as well, because you're carrying the weight of things on your shoulders. So maybe some of you have kids. Maybe some of you are not in relationships, or a relationship has broken up. That's what you're moving away from here. You were very much in the community. You moved away and you've got kids and you feel like there's responsibility on your shoulders. But I need you to know that you don't have to have all that responsibility on your shoulders. You really don't. You're probably saying, sorry, I have bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. It's not that simple. You're dead right, it's not that simple. But you can relinquish control at any stage and push back on it and push back against this certain responsibilities, because sometimes you'll take responsibilities off people that aren't yours to take. So you got to give them their wands back, Saggy. Okay? Delegate. Say, oh, you know the way I was picking up the slack here? Well, here's your wand. And actually, you need to be more involved because that's more area, your area. Here's your wand. And then what you start to see is this depletion in the number of wands that you carry. Because look, right now, you can't even see anything. You're not really enjoying life. You moved out of all this to get away from things and start a new chapter. And you did that because your level of intuition was so heightened that you felt like this was the road that you needed to go on, albeit there was sadness involved. And then you went, right, how do I gain control now? Because I feel so out of control. I know I'll take on a lot of the responsibility in the work and I do it myself. Oh, let's back it up. Let's push the wands off. You can't see things right now. Look, you just get the head down. Let's get the work done. Get the head down. Get the work done. Yeah, but Sag, like, you're going to burn yourself out. Straight up. You are going to burn yourself out if you do this. So I need you to start giving those wands back. You don't have to be in your face about it with people, which I know you won't. Well, you're quite direct. Sometimes people take that the wrong way. You're just very honest and truthful, and that's, you live your life off truth. Remember, this is your inner truth coming out here, and that's why you're also moving and shaking, okay? You're probably shaking a bit in your boots, but you're moving, which is important. So you got to give those wands back. No, sorry, excuse me, that's for you, and this is for you. Oh, you don't get away with it. Here's your wand. You know, push it back. And I'm glad that we come into the second week with 2 of Rods. Now, we're going from a 10 to a 2. Is that a bad thing? Some people say it is. Some people say there's a regression here. And I don't think this is bad for you. Rewinding slightly. Because you've moved out of this scenario, you need to find your feet and you need to create your own world. So it's important that you push back those things so that you can refocus and start anew. Now, 2 of Rods isn't exactly about new discoveries or new beginnings, but it's about creating a world for yourself. And again, this lovely fire energy, it's you. It's you. See though, we've gone from a 10 to a 2, you hold 2 wands. 2 wands are here for you. And remember, 2 as well is always about balance. In any of the suit, it's trying to figure out, go one way or another, or balance out the 2. 2 Pentacles is a huge card for that. 2 of Rods is quite similar. You're trying to figure out where your passions lie. You're trying to figure out where your creativity is. You're trying to figure out what you love the most, what you want to put your loving energy into, and how it could be profitable to you in some way. And I don't mean by money, but just meaning that you feel like you're getting something out of it, which could be emotional rewards even. Although there's no cups, but we'll come to that. So I like that this is here. I like that you've gone from a 10 to a 2. Because you've less the responsibility now. You have time to go, okay, these are the 2 I need. I'm going to balance out my things in life. I'm going to balance out all of it. And I'm going to create a world in which I am now happy with. Because in the traditional Rider-Waite, which is a deck I always refer back to because visually it's the most recognizable, the person here holds the world in their hands. I don't know why it's just a sphere here, a circular object for some reason here. I think it's important that it shows, it should depict the world, but just this particular illustration just decided not to go that way. But yes, they hold the world in their hands. And it is about creating a world for you and knowing that the world is at your disposal. You're just going to make choices out of it. And you've got to balance out a few things in order to move forward with those choices. Now, this particular person holds gloves as well, so what I want you to know that there is a certain amount of protection involved in this, okay? Yes, you've got the world in your hands, but it's not going to spin out of control. You've got these gloves that will protect you, that this fire that you have, that you are going to use now moving forward, will not burn you, okay? 10 of Rods can burn you. As I said, can burn you out. 2 of Rods, we're just getting the fires going, okay? Now your midweek is 6 of Cups. So this is really about emotional development, but also emotional nostalgia, what we miss. The way, I always put the song, The Way We Were to this, The Way We Were. That's what it's like. It's looking back and looking back at certain relationships, like really fondly. But so fondly that it's rose tinted, you know? Look at all these cups here and how they're all full of flowers, are in full bloom and are so colourful and vibrant. You know, that's how your memories are. Colourful and vibrant. And it's really as well, it's only looking at the good. But that there was emotional satisfaction with this, for the most part. Let me just see here. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clarify a little bit, as I have a feeling I know which way this is going, but I just want to make doubly sure for you. I just keep singing The Way We Were in my head. Or just that one line. The way we were. Oh. Okay. Right, so as I said, you're creating a world in which you want to be in, you want to live in, and that feels good with you. Now, when you're starting again with things, it's a kind of human nature to look back at what we had and to almost compare and contrast with where we're going, where we want to be, and where we came from. Like it's human nature. It's how the mind works. Because you're trying to create a path, do you know what I mean? So you're going, what can I take from my past with me to push me forward? So with this 2 of Rods, you are, as I said, kind of beginning again. And you're looking back at things, because when I said you were trying to balance things out, yeah? What you're doing is, do I tip forward into the future? How much do I tip forward into the future and forget everything? Or do I tip back in the past and really have a look at that? So you're going, which way can I don't, Now, when I said that there was emotional development here, but also emotional satisfaction. It was because some of you may have been involved with an Aries man or woman, or you were involved with somebody that was a little bit older than you, but may have also been older, not age-wise, because you can be older but be young in heart, you know what I mean? But maybe just mentality-wise, this person was older than you. This person could be an Aries moon. Quite a quietly dominant person as well, being that their presence created the decisions for them almost. People would work with them because they felt that this person knew a lot, was very knowledgeable and very informative, and therefore they would make the decisions. Now, Saggy, I feel for some of you, also, sorry, Capricorn, possibly. I feel for some of you that you're fiery, do you know what I mean? And sometimes you can be confused with like a Gemini, because you're running around as well, and you're quite like, say it as it is, and Gemini can be a bit like that as well. But I think that you kind of made yourself smaller with this person. Now, I said that you could have been with this person, or you could have worked with this person. Was this person your boss or something? Or was a father-like figure to you? Saggy. Yes. This isn't just about emotional development. This was emotional support for many of you. And this person gave it to you, and gave it to you in leaps and bounds, and were there for you in very practical manners. This could also be a friend, but it could also be a father figure, an uncle figure, or somebody maybe within the family that may not even be blood, but you would regard as, like, oh, that's Uncle John, but even though he's not related in any way. It's kind of that thing. But you had a lot of emotional support here, like a lot, and they took care of a lot of things for you, and you kind of felt like you didn't really need to do much, that Uncle John would take care of it. And so it's like the Star card is about wishes coming true for you. So this person may have gave you a lot of, I said emotional support and development, but they could have gave you opportunities as well to move forward in your career path or your work life, whatever. And you had a problem, you went to him. Like, you get like Uncle Joe or Uncle John, and what you're looking back on now, my darlings, is the lack of emotional support that you have now compared to what you had then. But this is a development thing, okay? So you got to, as I say with this card a lot, you can be in this energy, but please do not be in this energy for far too long, because you allow it to grow, you allow it to manifest, and it will take up too much of your time and presence in your life at the moment, and that particular memory does not correspond with who you are now, okay? Because things are starting to feel good. And I say that because the Wheel of Fortune comes up. Now, you've got 2 10s either side here. Do you notice that? At the end of your 2 weeks. Each week brings you a 10. And you have 2 6s here as well. So, like, you're on the road. You could be physically on the road as well. But you're on it. And so this moment of, looking back is okay. But you got to know the physical lack of that support from a family network, or people that you regard as your family or work network, it's gone because you need to learn how to fully rely on yourself. And I know Sagittarius you guys are completely independent, but sometimes emotionally you struggle a bit. You just don't talk about it a lot. And so emotional development comes out of this for you, but a lot of things come out of this for you, because you've got the Wheel of Fortune, and as I said, that's a 10. It's completion, and the Wheel of Fortune is about that wheel turning. It's about your destiny coming into play and allowing it to come into play, because it goes slow, it goes fast, but as I say, it's always moving. This 6 of Cups, this delving into memories of lost things or things that are now gone, it slows this wheel down. That's why you have to be careful not to be too involved in this energy, because you want to move forward, yeah? That's the whole reason why you moved. It's the whole reason why you're moving and grooving. But I do see that you have points where you look back for a split second. That's okay. Follow your intuition in all of this, because it's powerful. Oh, sorry, I just realised you've got 2 2s, 2 6s and 2 10s. What is it? You're jumping in 4s constantly. So maybe it's a case that all this will happen for you in like 4 days, 4 weeks. I know this is a bi-weekly reading, but sometimes energies take a little bit longer to manifest, you know? Yeah, that's why you got to give it time. Could even be 4 hours for some of you. That phrase, you don't know what each day brings. Hey, that's true. But this Wheel of Fortune, let it come in, you know? Let's just, okay, I get it. We felt it. That was lovely. I missed that. But now, Wheel is like spinning me forward. And it's saying, you've got a lot more to come. Yes, it is. Completion, it's a 10. But what comes after completion? Something else is new. Something else comes in. That's what you want in the following weeks. Sag, it's interesting, isn't it? It really is. But we've dealt with that, so we know it's coming and we know where you're going. So that's good. We have that information now and we can deal better with it. So it's just as important now that we get on to your love reading. So let's rock and roll. Let's go. Hey Sag. Okay, so this is the second part of your reading now. This is May 15th to 31st love reading. And I feel like I'm running on all cylinders right now. I don't know if some of you are like that and I can't really breathe properly. I feel like I'm running. Like really. It's not because I have asthma. It's because you guys are like running away with yourselves or something. I can't breathe. What's going on? I can't catch your breath. I haven't done anything. I haven't run anywhere. Right. So this is the same type of reading. Top line is the first week, or we'll say third week, and then the bottom line is the fourth and a half week. And we'll do the same thing if it doesn't resonate then, or if it doesn't resonate, for clarification I will use it if necessary. Okay, Sad, straight off the bat. Some of you have been very damaged in love. Now, I know you could say that could be applicable to anyone. That is true. And most of us are damaged as a result of love in some way. But we can look at it as being damaged, or we can look at it as a progression in our love life. We have the war wounds because now we know what we want and what we don't want, what we'll put up with, what we won't put up with, right? So, all necessary evils that we all encounter and we all carry with us. Now, the very start of your love week, you're looking back. Now, this is a major arcana and you've got 2 here. Again, 2 out of 6. Ain't bad. But the Fool comes up here for you. And the Fool is all about an energy that is freeing. And it's free in itself. This person, this Fool, is free. He has no responsibilities, and in essence he is a person that is free to roam the lands, speak to whoever, do whatever, be with whoever. He essentially has nothing, therefore he has everything. When you don't have anything, you can acquire everything and anything you could possibly want. Now this Fool is a very independent person. And yes, you know, we call him the Fool, but really, is he so foolish as to want to be free and to live in a loving environment that gives him freedom? Freedom gives love, love gives freedom, and that lovely entwining existence between the two. But he's looking back into the past, so I understand that some of you, as I say, you have your war wounds. And I feel like this is more of a case that you were the fool in the past. That, not that you didn't take love seriously, but you just kind of went, you know, I'm just going to be with this person. I like them, they're fine. You know, feel a bit alive with this one. Feel a bit free with this one as well. Yeah. All right, that didn't work out. That's okay, whatever. Like, I'm sad. You're going to keep going. So yeah, who's this person? Oh, you're kind of cool as well. I kind of dig you. Do you know, and then you got hurt. And then the brakes were put on, and this fool energy, so I keep getting just moments of sadness in your readings. This fool energy is normally this reinvigorating energy for me. You know, he's someone I want to be with. I want to go out on weekends with, you know, and then ring up the next day after just a few days of madness and go, oh my God, what just happened? I don't know what happened. I woke up in my bed. That's the kind of fool energy that's there, you know. Now, he's not destructive, but he's so much freedom. He's kind of childlike as well, you know. But this is the fool looking back into the past, looking at how he used to be, the way he used to be, the things he used to do, and realizing that he can't really do that anymore. It's time to kind of like plant your roots. He's so quiet, and in a weird way for this particular reading, really reflective. Maybe you guys are being very reflective in your first week. I say first week, but you know what I mean, third week, 15th to the 22nd. And you're looking back at past loving encounters or sexy encounters, sexual encounters, and you're kind of saying, that's how I used to be. I can't be that way anymore. I don't really want to be that way anymore. And maybe there was something or someone that hurt you, and that really stopped the fool energy. Now, you still kind of you haven't changed completely. You still wear the clothes of the fool, yet on the inside, you're not as willing to partake in some of those more freedom-loving events, right? And midweek, guys, the Six of Cups again. I keep saying this is coming out for everyone. What was this I said? Emotional satisfaction of the past. Looking back with rose-tinted glasses at things and going, oh, wasn't that so lovely back then? Oh, back in my day, it was so beautiful. I had this and it was loving and I loved it. And I don't know what accent I'm doing, but hey, there you go. I hope it adds to it. But you know, it's that looking back and being like, oh, God, back then. I think here, the Six of Cups for you in this particular love reading is saying that there was so much freedom. And what I said about love creating freedom and freedom being in love, and those two kind of intertwined, and, you know, having that infinity symbol almost of the two. And they both need each other to exist, by the way. Freedom needs to be there so that love can come in and say, I can grow. Then love grows and freedom expands and love expands, and it's just this knock-on effect constantly. So this Six of Cups card is saying that the freedom in which you had before allowed you to be in a really loving present state. That you brought that loving present state with you into everything and into everyone and people who you've only just met. And but things are different now. You're different now. And what I keep saying to you about this Six of Cups is you can't stay in this energy too long. It's nice to have the memories. It's nice to look back on. But that's then. And this is now. And as I said, something may have really happened for you in your past with someone. I just got Pisces or Cancer woman. Or man. But I initially got Pisces and Cancer woman. You know, the funny thing is though, Sag, about that person in particular, or Taurus, sorry, about that person in particular is that they're not here, are they? In your first week. They're not here. And that to me means they're not relevant enough for you now in the present and moving into the future. Therefore, they stay in the past. That's where they live. In the past, in your past. Now, there's a lot of things coming to light for you, I think, in your general reading and for this reading in particular. Because now you've got the Four of Swords at the end of the week, and this is all about, for me, it's like self-preservation. Not in a very holding on tight Four of Pentacles way, but really just kind of taking care of yourself, needing to heal and heal those wounds. And what, as I said, we all walk around with these war wounds, and I'm sure you're no exception. I'm sure you're not, right? It's tough. Love is tough. And there's no way you don't get burnt one way or another. But here, your Four of Swords is saying, like, you're obviously not fully over whatever happened with this Pisces or Cancer. But, and you know, you're going back into the memories of that, and you're physically looking back onto that. Look, the Fool never looks back. It feels like, hi-ho Silver, in a way, like he's gone. He's not worried about the past or the future. He lives in the present. But for some reason, this Fool, it keeps looking back in the past, and the memories pop up, and they were lovely and rose tinted. And this is really saying, all right, Saggy, there's nothing drastic going on here for you. May have happened in the past, but now you need to stop going back here, and you need to heal. There are parts of you that need to heal. You need to give yourself time for that. You really do. Really. I know you guys can't see me, but I threw my head back as I announced that. You really do. You need to take care of yourselves. Sometimes as well, this Four of Swords can be heavy with grief. So I don't know if some of you may have had partners that have passed on. And for that, I pass on my sincerest condolences to you. Some of you may be dealing with this. Hence why you're looking back at memories. And some of you, that may be the opposite case. You have the opposite story, where your partner or ex-lover or marriage, or, you know, you got to apply the title to what fits you. So I don't want to be so specific as to say your ex-husband or ex-wife, or, you know, because there's so many variations of relationships these days. You can say long-time partner or spouse or whatever applies to you. That there is healing that is needed for you to continue on, for you to really continue on in a good way, you know. I understand for some of you as well, these things are staying on your mind a little bit too often than you'd like, right? Those little things pop up, and it's always like, do you know what this feels like as well? It's like you're relaxing somewhere. You're like, oh, although when Saggy does relax, most of the time it's at night time when you go to bed, but at the same time, most of you as well are probably readers. So whenever you get a point, you're like, oh, I'm going to read this great book, or I got the script as well for some of you. If you guys are that way inclined, and you sit down to read it, and that's, you want to fully submerge your mind into what you're reading, but then parts of the past pop in and it stops you for a minute. Look guys, let's not focus too much on this card, as I feel like I'm verbally exhausting it at this stage. What I want you to do is, yes, take care of yourself, like definitely. Find Zen. Meditate as well. Remember, swords are mental. They're mental processes. You need to feng shui those mental processes, and through meditation is a great way to do that. Some of you may not know, it can be as simple as sitting down, breathing in deeply 10 times, counting to 4 in each breath, and in each inhale and exhale, and then counting to 8 to slow it really down, and then just seeing what comes into your head, asking the questions, and they will reveal themselves, trust me. So coming into this lovely relaxation, and as I keep saying, allowing yourself to heal, you know, some of those wounds are still open a little bit. And then once you quieten down things that run around your head, and you start to find answers, because remember, this coincides with your general reading, so your intuition's coming in here as well. It's going to be a big helpful tool for you. You come into then your second week with this Queen of Swords. Who is the Queen of Swords? Well, she is a Libra lady. She's a Gemini lady. She is an Aquarius lady. Now, because I associate the Queen of Swords anyway with Libra, to be honest. And then I associate the King of Swords to be Aquarius. And I associate the Page to be Gemini. So for me then, this, like for you guys, it could be Libra, it could be Gemini or Aquarius, right? But for me, this feels like a Libra. This Libra's coming in. This person, oh, she's a bit off the cuff. I like her. Traditionally, she is somebody who is a no-nonsense kind of gal. She says it the way she sees it, but she's also very diplomatic. So that phrase of iron fist and a velvet glove is completely applicable to this lady. That's how she lives. You know, if you're nice to her, she'll be nice to you. If you taunt her, she'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you do it a second time, she'll cut you down with her sword. Be very careful. Your head could be in one hand. The other hand of which she holds your head and her sword. Like, you want to talk about the tongue being the sword? Oh my God, this woman invented it. Now, having said that, I'm making her sound to be quite a belligerent, argumentative person. Now, she likes arguments, but she likes it for mental acrobatic reasons, not to put anyone in a mental frenzy or anything like that. But she likes the use of the word, and she likes her ability, and she likes how she can manipulate and use it because she's very good at it. But most of the time, she uses it for the crack. She uses it for fun, and she uses it to kind of poke fun at you a little bit, but in a really nice way, right? That's her. So this Libra lady is coming in for you, or as I say, Libra man as well. Either or, whatever is your preference. Who's this? Now, she's lovely. She's a really pleasant face. Her facial expressions are quite dynamic at times. Her face is quite non-intrusive. By that I mean it's not overly angular, it's quite soft edges. Most Libra people are known for not having really sharp features. You'll notice that their eyes are quite either big, or if they're small, they're kind of almond shaped. They have might have a little bump in their nose, but it's not huge. They have lovely lips. Their face is oval shaped. You know, everything has got this sensuous curve to it because she's Libra. She rules Venus, and she is all about curvation and sensuality and being feminine and being, you know, I don't want to say overly sexy, because she does have a sexy element, but she's more sensual. Do you know what I mean? She's got curves in all the right places. Right, one more. Bam, that's it. Let's get a little insight into this Libra person. Ooh. Just said in my head, you've met your match, Sagittarius. I don't think so. Terribly. I mean that in a fun way. All right. Let's hold these up for you, yeah? So this is the background of this particular, again, Libra lady. So let's go from the beginning. 8 of Pentacles. This person has been working away at things for quite some time. Could be 8 months, could be 8 years, or it could be 4 months or 4 years. This person may have done this in an academic sense. They may have gone on to get their bachelor's in something, or because, you know, 4 years would be more so a bachelor's degree, or they could be doing their master's as well. They could be doing their master's part-time, but they have, in an academic sense, tried to elevate themselves. Now, they're an 8, you know, so they've done really well, but it's not a 10, so they may be finishing up on these studies, or they may be finishing up on work projects as well. This person's really creative, by the way. Really creative, and not only have they worked on the outside to obtain as much knowledge as they can, they've worked on the inside, and they've really had to, because life's events have given them sort of a little bit of a raw deal. Now, they have had their own destruction and trauma in life. The Tower card comes in, and as I always say, it's about those foundations being shook, moving, and the Tower, it's not very strong. And it's fragile because it wasn't constructed properly. Therefore, it's not going to withstand that energy that comes from the earth to shake it. So everything just gets pulled to the ground, right? It's on fire. We can see there's like a storm behind it. There's lightning. There's like severe waves crashing against it. I mean, it really doesn't stand a chance. But it never did, because it was built on shoddy foundation. And this is all about those things in our life which serve us no good purpose. And they have to go. Just get rid of them. It's very, for me, it's a cleansing card as well. But when you experience it, particularly as an individual in your own life, it can be severe, it can be harsh, and it can come up in various different ways, various different experiences in your life. Now, whatever this was, this person felt it. And I feel like this person, I kind of feel like it was emotional, but I feel like it put a lot of things into perspective for this particular person. As in, they couldn't just be free and loving and go and do this and float everywhere like the Libra does. I'm just going to say Libra as a reference, because you remember, you can put Gemini or Aquarius or whoever onto this. So, but this tower came and it just shook it, and it shook that person, and it made them go, whoa, 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 I need to figure. This for me feels at the heart of all of this, by the way. And these two are a result of that. Put this in. Yeah. So yeah, it brought things to perspective for them, and they had to begin again, and they did. And they did have to build themselves back up again. I feel like they're way stronger than before, by the way. Like their insides, like they might not show it on the outside, but my God, are they strong on the inside? My God. Not only that, what they've developed, I said academically, and pentacles being aspects of the self for me that they've built up. They've also created this wonderful level of intuition for them, right? High Priestess again. We've already talked about her. But now you see she's in you see how different contexts that this card can be in. Here she is, and she's intuition of the most highest caliber. She is the giving of knowledge that swims beneath the surface. She's almost like that deep sea diver, and she just delves so deep into the mind to uncover the truths and to uncover the knowledge that we need to know about ourselves. This has been a severe development because of this tower. So, like, whoever this is coming into your life, kudos. Kudos. Yeah, whew. This person's highly intuitive. You need to, I would take into consideration when you ask them their opinion about someone or something, yes, take into consideration how they got to their decision on that thing or person, but you'll feel a huge level of intuition has been brought into that as well, because that's what they rely on now as well, because they understand it. So in many ways, this person, everything fell to the ground, but they built themselves back up in major ways. Respect to that, right? So this is this person coming in. Now, I like this person. She's fun as well. She's bubbly. She's kind of cheeky. And she'll, as I said, she'll kind of poke fun at you. You know what? Let her. And you know what? If anyone could take it as Sagittarius, you're just going to have to throw it back a bit. Just to put her in her place. I honestly think, though, she'll like that. She'll just start to giggle and laugh, and there's something really sweet about that. I love actually seeing the interaction between like air signs and Saggies. It's just immediate friendship, isn't it? It's like you meet your fellow weirdo. It's like, oh, you're on that level of weirdness. Me too. Thank God, because I honestly thought there was no one in here that was on that level. And that's what this person's like. A friendship here. But you're going to see and feel little different things about them. There's a sweetness to them that, not that they don't always show, but that they'll show to you. And this person is very important in more ways than one, because you've got the midweek here. You've got the Empress card. What is the Empress? Well, she is the mother of the tarot deck. She knows everything. She sees everything. She governs everything. She is the equal to the... Oh, I've completely forgotten his name. Emperor. God, sorry. I drew a blank there. We do many videos today. But sorry, I could see it in my head and the word was just gone. I guess again, Aries, the Emperor, is her opposite in masculine energy and in masculine form. Now, the Empress comes in and she gives birth to many different things. She gives birth to new ventures. She gives birth to new projects and new ideas. She gives birth physically as well. She grows in many ways, and she allows things to grow around her in abundance. And it's a beautiful motherly energy that comes in, and you just feel like she's got me, I'm under her wing, and she's going to take care of me. Now, she's here in a different capacity for you. Oh, this is say as well, she's also like Mother Nature. She comes in here because she wants you to take a little bit more notice of this Queen of Swords person. She's saying, look, don't just look at this person and go, oh, they're fun and they're bubbly. Realize their potential in many ways, and realize their potential to be a partner for you. The Empress comes in and says, I give you full permission to allow this to grow with this person. Because remember, you're trying to get on the right track here, Sag. Trying to be on the right track. And realistically, we never are off the path. It just feels like we are. Because I tell you why. When you're walking on your path, like you would outside, if you're doing like a walking trail, the path is never the same texture or consistency throughout. The terrain varies greatly. So at times it feels rougher, at times it feels smoother. But no, you're always on the same path. But she's coming in here to say, look, I want you to take a bit more acknowledgement into this person. I want you to see what they can give you. I want you to see what can be born out of this. Don't go back on this. And these two people, like, look at how serious. She is damn serious about this. She's like, look at me. She's that mother. And I say the motherly figure. She's like, look at me. Look at me now. What did I say? I said she's lovely and you should go ahead with it. I said he's a lovely boy. Like, that's what it is. Do you know? I don't know if that's just Irish mammies be like, listen to me now, listen now. Don't be doing that now. Don't be silly. They're lovely. They're good for you. That's that kind of thing. So she's in a really lovely motherly way. She's saying, I give you my blessing to go forward with this. She's putting extra emphasis on how love can really grow with this person. Because you may not feel the love initially, or they may visually be different to what you've been after. Maybe you're someone who goes after blondes, then all of a sudden this is a brunette that comes along. Maybe you like straight hair, all of a sudden this crazy curly wavy haired girl comes along, or boy, and you're like, oh, I'd never go for them, but they're just actually really lovely. And she's being like, don't be silly, just because you don't visually go after that person a lot doesn't mean that they don't have something to give. She's coming in, she's giving her motherly blessing. Thanks, Empress. Now, at the end of the week, 10 of Swords. Now, this is like the third time out of the 4 rows you've had a 10. 10 of Swords. Again, what is a 10? It's always about completion, right? Swords, what we know, we spoke of their relevance and the power that they hold. So why is a 10 of Swords here now for you? I want to say self-sabotage here, Sag. I don't want to say that for you. So instead of me just going off with my initial intuition of saying self-sabotage, because immediately as well I got Beastie Boys sabotage flew into my head. I'm going to now give you 2 explanations as to why this is here. Right. This says it all for me. Okay. Again, I'll just like move these over so you get right. So 10 of Swords is all about occurrences or events that have hurt you in the biggest way possible, have given you a severe amount of mental anguish, being completely stabbed in the back by others. And it can also mean that sometimes in like love or relationship spreads, it can be adultery, people cheating on you in the past. Now, the 8 of Cups is about emotionally walking away from something that you feel you can't emotionally give anymore. You're like, look, what else do you want from me? Jesus, I've given you my heart, my soul, the blood that runs through my veins. I've given you everything. Five of Swords comes in, and it's about being at a crossroads with yourself. It's about winning a war, winning the battle against people or a certain person, but winning it at a cost. That there's more of a detriment rather than a benefit to this. Now, you came out and you won, but what about the others? Normally, you see, there's two people there, see them? Two little smudges, and that's their swords. You've acquired their swords, because they just dropped them. They've just gone, I can't fight you anymore, it's too much. And you've gone, then I win. I feel like you're going into, I think you feel something coming with this person. You feel that earthly energy. You feel that it's can be good and it can be strong. But you're when I said that people, when they're on the verge of something happening, they kind of go back to the past to go, oh, can I really go forward? It's like you're putting your past in front of you again, because you're so scared about being with someone again. Now, I know, I realise this sounds like this is for singles a lot, and I don't mean to, you know, this could be that you were in a couple and you were divorced and this is the outcome of it, or it could be that you're in a relationship and there is someone new that's entered into your life. You could be married as well, but you start to feel something for them, but you realise how bad it can be too. Like, you're really scared, Saggy, of this happening again. You can't put the weight of this onto this person. It's just not fair. They don't really deserve that, do they? They don't. There's a lot of loyalty and trust with this person as well. You've got to know that. Deep loyalty. They don't deserve to have... You remember, they have their own wounds from other things. And so, don't give them yours. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying you intentionally will do that. What I'm saying is, don't add to theirs. You got to clear this out. Yes, you were hurt in the past. Yes. Yes, you were. But aren't we all? Especially with first loves. My God, first love heartbreak is the worst. Isn't it though? Oh, look, it's the worst. But somehow you survive, and somehow you live, and somehow you move on. So I feel like I have to say to some of you, like, give love a chance. Give it a chance. This isn't saying you have to jump in immediately, because I know you have to rest and heal from past events. This is not saying, she's not going, here, you better get a move on or they're gone. What she's saying is, there is something here that can grow into love, if you're willing to take it. And as we all know, growth takes time. So, allow this to take time. Allow it to go at a pace that you're comfortable with, but just don't keep thinking that you're going to get completely obliterated in this. Yes, they have their sword, but you know what their sword is. It's not a contributing factor to this, by the way. Their sword has been acquired through their own harsh encounters, and they've become wise out of that. So they know how to use this. It's not a case of that's just going to stab you in the back. They're going, I fought my own battles, therefore I have this sword, and if anyone wants to hurt me, I'm ready. So imagine having that person on your side. Oh, Sadie. I know, love is tough, right? I feel like this is like a blast from the past, like flashback. And so, then if this feels like this, and this needs to stay longer than a week, yeah? You need to heal a bit longer. New person, new chapter, new decisions, new love. And look at her coming in with all her roses as well. Look at her. Bringing in these tokens of affection. We're putting them here at the end of her sword. Again, iron fist and a velvet glove. But she's aware of it, and more than likely she'll probably tell you, or he. They'll probably tell you. I feel like this person is fairly transparent anyway. So, let it be a 10, let it be completed, let it close the door on that chapter of life and move into June with the possibility of someone here. And know that the universe is saying blessings to you. Ah, Sag. I'll give you a great big cuddle. Right, my lovelies, this has been your bi-weekly reading for May the 15th to May the 31st, 2017. I hope you liked it. I hope it brought some clarity. If you dig what I do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them for you. And also remember, I do personalised private readings. So if you would like one, or you'd like to know the services that I provide, just email me below. My email is below. And I will contact you directly with both a price list and the services list as well. Remember, Saggy, you are always part of this Tuatha. This is your tribe and you are always welcome here. You have a wonderful, beautiful, changing, manifesting, is that a word? Manifesting next 2 weeks. And I will see you at the very start of June. Have a great 2.5 weeks, my lovelies. See you then. Take care and bye-bye.